Assalamu alaikum students. I am your teacher Muhammad Wakar and our today's topic is adverb. So as you're well aware of the topic adverb, it's part of speech. It's one of the parts of speech. Before going to discuss adverb, its different usages and its kind, I would like to have I would like to discuss its background a little. Um, so, as you're well aware of the another part of speech that precedes adverb, and that is verb. So, I already told you in the class, and we have discussed verbs in the class, and we have also seen different functions and types of verb. So, what is a verb basically? A verb is it can tell us three things. It shows us an action, like sleeping, eating, reading, writing, playing. All these words they convey us the meaning of action. So the verb is also it is called an action word, and it also has another function in a sentence to perform, and there is it also shows us the position of something. So position of subject over something. For example, I have a pen. So I have a pen. Here I have the verb actually have shows us possession or ownership, and I had a pen, so that would mean the same thing in the past time. And the third thing that a verb performs, that it shows us the state of being of some of a subject. For example, he is happy, so he is sad. These verbs in both of these sentences actually the one verb, and he was happy. So was would be used for the past time, and both of these verbs they show us the state of being of something, or state of being of subject. So um, he seems happy, so it also shows us the state. So this is how we classified the verb. And in a sentence, if there is a word that adds something to the meaning of verb, for example, we said he's reading, or he's writing, or he's running, he runs. So if there is another word that if we add in a sentence, and if that word adds something to the meaning of verb, that word would actually be called as adverb. So it is very evident from the name as well. So here we have few examples to understand this topic, adverb. Uh, Here we go. The first example is Heather runs quickly. Heather runs quickly. Now here the word runs is a verb. As we are well aware of this, it is an action. And this word quickly shows us the manner in which Heather runs. So you can ask the question, in what manner? You will get the answer quickly. For example, Heather runs quickly. Heather runs. In what manner? Quickly. So, in what manner is the question which we can ask here. So, we get the answer quickly. So, the word quickly actually answers this question, in what manner. So, Heather runs in what manner? Quickly. Got it? So, this is how a verb can be modified. In this word quickly, which modifies the verb, is called an adverb. All right, because it adds something to the meaning of noun. It qualifies, sorry, it adds something to the meaning of verb, or it qualifies the verb. And in the second example, we can see that this is very sweet mango. This is very sweet mango. Here the word, if we remove this word very, for example, let's do it. Okay, so we are putting this word out of our sentence. All right, so we don't have any such word here now. So this is sweet mango. Now, mango is a noun, sweet is an adjective, and sweet tells us the kind and quality of noun. So of noun or of mango. So sweet mango. And if we add another word here, the word we skipped earlier, we're going to add that word again. I hope you're getting me. I have skipped the word from this sentence in order to show you that how the sentence was before. So before this sentence was like this is sweet mango, or before, even before this, the sentence was this is mango. Now we added another word sweet to add meaning to the word of to add something to this word. So it adds meaning to this word sweet mango. Now we have introduced another word here, and that is very. So this is very sweet mango. Now very adds something to the meaning of this word sweet. So very adds something to the meaning of sweet. So sweet is an adjective and very adds something to the meaning of adjective. So it can be termed as an adverb. So uh, in this example, we have seen that adverb added something to the meaning of an adjective. All right. So in the third example, he reads quite clearly. He reads quite clearly. Now, clearly is an adverb. We all know that because it shows us the manner in which he reads. All right. So clearly refers back to this word reads. He reads how? Clearly. So, but we again introduce another word here, quite clearly. So the word quiet shows us to what extent he reads. Very clearly, too clearly, quite clearly. So this is how it answers our question, to what extent. So he reads clearly. To what extent? Quite clearly, very clearly, or too clearly, or so much clearly. So this is how we can use these questions to ask different questions within sentences. So what I'm basically stressing upon is that in the first example, we have seen that a word modified a verb. So the word that modified a verb is quickly in the first sentence, and it is called an adverb. In the second example, very different from the first one, we have seen that a verb vary modified an adjective. So vary is also called an adverb. So in the first example, it modified a verb. In the second example, it modified an adjective. While in the third example, it modified another adverb. So on the basis of these three examples, we can define adverb as a word that modifies the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So these three examples very clearly they tell us that an adverb, it does not only add something to the meaning of verb, it can also modify an adjective in an adverb as well. But this is not the end. There is something more to it. An adverb sometimes it modifies whole sentence. For example, here it modifies whole sentence as well sometimes. For example, luckily I reached home. So luckily here is an adverb which modifies the whole sentence, I reached home. And there are some other adverbs that modify the whole sentences. For example, fortunately, possibly. So, and there are a lot more others, but this should be kept in mind that an adverb, it does not only modifies a single word, it can also modify a sentence, a whole sentence as well. Okay, so this was it about adverb, its definition. And now we move on to the second part, that is usage of adverb. So on the basis of their usage, adverbs are divided into three classes, primarily three classes. The first class is simple adverbs. So simple adverbs are used to modify a verb, an adjective, and another adverb, and we have seen all these examples here. All right. So here we saw that it modified a verb, it modified an adjective, and it also modified another adverb. So these were very clear in the beginning. We already discussed these. The second usage of adverbs is on the basis of the usage, we can categorize it as interrogative Adverbs. So interrogative adverbs are those adverbs which are used to ask questions. Alright, so here we can see that we haven't used them to ask questions. We have used them simply, just as modifying words. Alright, but here we will use them to ask questions. So how did you go? The word how, it shows us the manner. It actually asks question about manner. In which manner did you go, or how did you go? All right. And there are other words: what, when, why, and all these are question wh question words, and they are sometimes asked used as an adverb to ask question. Then the third usage of adverb is relative adverbs. So on the basis of usage, the third class or category is relative adverbs. So relative adverbs are those adverbs which refer back to a noun as its antecedent. Antecedent is a noun basically that precedes before, that comes before a verb, is called its antecedent. So I remember the house where I was born. For example, I remember the house. House is a noun. Where, the word where refers back to this noun, house. So I remember the house where I was born. So where refers to that place, that house where he was born. So this is how it relates this part of sentence with the previous one. So this is how we can call it relative adverb. All right, I hope you understood this. Okay, so moving on to kinds of adverbs. So on the basis of meanings, actually we have classified adverb into primarily five major kinds. So we are going to discuss all those kinds here quickly. All right, so the first kind is adverbs of time. Of course, and it's very obvious that the question would be when. So when actually asks about, it is a question used to ask about time. So here we have different examples. I have arrived before you. I have heard this before. He comes here daily. So daily, before, after, now, ago, yesterday, already, never, formerly, and all these words, they answer the question when. So when in a sentence you come across these words, and if you ask question when, and if you get the answer, then it is understood that there's an adverb of time in those sentences. So I have arrived when, before you. I have heard this when, before. I have heard this when, yesterday, last week, last month. So all these words, they refer, they answer the question when. So all those words that answer the question when are adverbs of time. They fall in the category of adverbs of time. And then we have the second kind, that is adverbs of frequency. So here we go, adverbs of frequency. All right, so adverbs of frequency. So adverbs of frequency are those adverbs which show us how often. How often? Frequency. So frequency means how often. I have told you twice. I have told you how often? Twice. He often makes mistakes. He seldom comes. So the words like once, twice, often, seldom, they answer a question how often. All right. He comes. He seldom comes here. So how often? Seldom. Seldom means never, very rarely. So this is how we can ask the question how often to know if there is any adverb of frequency in the sentence. And the third kind that we are going to discuss is adverbs of place. Adverbs of place. So the question that we will ask is where. So which show where. All those adverbs that show us where, or that answer the question where. For example, stand here, go there, he looked up, and stand where, here, go where. So the answer we get is there. So here, there, up, down, in, out, away, everywhere, etc. or all those words that answer a question where. So all these adverbs, they fall into the category of adverbs of place. Got it? All those words that answer a question where, or that are somehow related to place, and they add meaning to another verb, adverb, or adjective, and also tell us about a place, they are called adverbs of place. All right, so this was very simple one. Then moving on to the next one, adverbs of manner. So adverbs of manner are those adverbs which show how or in what manner. So manner, in what manner? All right. Soldiers fought bravely. Soldiers fought in what manner? They fought bravely. The story is well written. How? So this answers a question how. So in what manner the story is written? So story is well written. Or how the story is written? The story is well written. So well, again, the story is written and story is well written. So it adds meaning to the word written, but it also tells us the manner in which it was written. So it was well written, it was beautifully written, it was excellently written. So all these adverbs are adverbs of manner. Then another example, the child slept soundly. How? Soundly. So all the words like bravely, agreeably, clearly, well, soundly, slowly, sadly, etc. are the words that tell us how or in what manner. So if a word answers a question how or in what manner, that that verb, that adverb is actually called adverb of manner. All right. So sorry, there's one thing that you should also keep in mind while understanding the concept of adverbs of manner, and that is there are almost most of the times, almost 99% of the adverbs, they are the adverbs of manner. I'm talking specifically about adverbs of manner. So adverbs of manner are mostly derived from adjectives. Keep this in mind. They are mostly derived from adjectives, and we just simply put ly at the end of these adjectives in order to make them adverbs. For example, brave. Brave is an adjective, and we have put ly at the end, so it becomes bravely. Alright, so adjective plus ly most of the time, but not all the time, because in the second sentence we have well, so it is not derived from an adjective. Alright, so this should also be kept in mind. So up till now, I guess it's clear. Okay, so moving on to the fifth kind and the last one, and that is adverbs of degree or quantity. So it shows us how much, all those adverbs that show us how much or in what degree or to what extent. He was too careless. How much? Too careless. These mangoes are almost ripe. To what extent or to what degree they are ripe, or how much they are ripe? So they are almost ripe. So almost tell us the degree, the extent to which the mangoes are ripe. And then I'm fully prepared. To what degree are you prepared? So I am fully prepared. You are partly right. To what extent am I right? You are partly right. So the words to, almost, fully, very, partly, altogether, these are those words that answer the question how much, in what degree, or to what extent. So all these words, because they answer questions how much, in what degree, to what extent, that's why we categorize them in adverbs of degree or quantity. And there is the most important of all things in today's lecture, and this should be kept in mind for once and all, and there should be no doubt in this. All right, so that thing is, there are some adverbs that belong to more than one categories, right? That belong to more than one class or more than one kind of adjectives that we have discussed so far. So there is no fixed words, there are no fixed words that fall in a specific category and cannot be from that cannot be in other kinds. There are no specific words that you will memorize that these are the adverbs of manner, these are adverbs of degree, and adverbs of time, place, though there are some, like the ones that answer where and when, but that is again specific cases. So there are no adverbs, specific adverbs that fall in specific categories. They depend on the way they are used in sentence. So adverbs are classified in different kinds on the basis of their usage in a sentence. For example, if an adverb shows us place, if it refers to a place, then it will be categorized under the adverbs of place. And if it tells us about time, so it will be categorized under the adverb of time. So here is an example. Here, actually, two. I have taken given here written two examples, and the first one is delightfully. I have used the word delightfully in both these examples. So the first one is she sings delightfully. It is actually adverb of manner. It shows us the manner in which she sings. All right, she sings in which manner? How? She sings delightfully. And then she sings delightfully, and the weather is delightfully cool. So here, delightfully is again used as an adverb, but as an adverb of degree, because it tells us about the weather, about the it tells us how much cool the weather is. So it is delightfully cool. It is used as an adverb of degree. It shows us to what extent the weather is cool, like here we have discussed to what extent and in what degree. All right. And then in the second example, don't go far, 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 don't go far. It is used for adverb of place. Far refers to some place, that don't go too far, don't go there. So in the second example, he is far better now. Now it is very obvious that the for used in this sentence and for used here are very different from each other. So he is far better. It shows us again degree, that he is better than before. So for is used for comparison. Alright, so he is better than before. So this is how the same adverb can be used differently sometimes. So you should keep this in mind as well. Alright. So that's it from today's lecture, and I'm just going to quickly revise it for you. So what we did in today's lecture, actually, we started off with verb in our background, and we discussed that verb is a word that shows us some action. It also shows us possession, and it also expresses state of being. So if in a sentence there is a word that adds something to the meaning of verb, or an adjective or an adverb, and we have seen this from first three examples, that word would be called as adverb. And on the basis of these three examples, we defined adverb as a word that modifies the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. All right. And then we also moved on to words the usage, that how many ways an adjective, an adverb can be used. So an adverb is used, it is basically divided into three classes on the basis of its use. So the first one is it is used to modify a verb, an adjective, another adverb, so we call it simple adverb. And in the second class, we saw that an adverb can also be used interrogatively. So all those adverbs, they are called interrogative adverbs. They are used to ask questions. And then we categorized adverb into third class, another class um, of relative adverbs, and they basically refer back to nouns. So for example, I remember the house where I was born. So here where, the word where, which is an adverb, it refers back to the noun house. And then we moved on to words the kinds of kinds of adverbs. And adverbs are five kinds: adverbs of time, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of place, of manner, adverbs of degree, or quantity. And there are some important things that you should understand and keep in mind. And the first one is that no adverb can be used in a specific way. For example, it can in a sentence it can be adverb of manner. In the second sentence the same adverb can be adverb of degree, so it can change its kind depending on its usage in a sentence. So dear students, that's it from today's lecture. So your homework is to um, I have just cleared the screen for you. You can take screenshot from here as well, and you have to write uh, adverbs, their examples, definition, usage and kinds on your neat notebook. And along with that, your homework is write 3 examples of each of the kinds of adverbs. जो हमने जितनी भी 5 काइंड्स एडवर्ब्स की बताई हैं, अभी डिस्कस किए हैं हमने, हर एक काइंड के ऊपर आपने 3-3 एग्जांपल्स असाइनमेंट पेजेस के ऊपर, सेपरेट पेजेस के ऊपर एज अ होमवर्क लिखना है. एंड अलॉन्ग विद दैट इस लेक्चर के जो इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं जो कि इसी स्लाइड में आपको क्लियर हो जाएंगे, इन तीनों स्लाइड्स में, उनको अपने नीट नोटबुक के ऊपर इसी तरह से बिल्कुल लिखना है. सो आई होप इट्स क्लियर. Still, if you have any question, your questions are welcome. And thank you so much for watching. Take care. Allah